Welcome to Smart Money. I'm your host, Ibrahim Sani. Today, we look at the investment world. On October 25th, Hanwha Investment Company, a subsidiary of the chaebol of South Korea group Hanwha, has signed a deal with RHL Ventures. And here to discuss more on this is Rachel Lau, the partner and the founder of RHL Ventures. Welcome to the show, Rachel.
Thank you for having us.
So I think we'll start off with the arrangement between you and Hanwha, or RHL Ventures and Hanwha. What does the deal entail?
So essentially, it's a strategic alliance between Hanwha Investment Corporation and RHL Ventures based here in Malaysia. What we're trying to do is build a platform where we can co-invest together in the Southeast Asia regions for startups or early stage investments, technology firm. What we're trying to do is obviously leverage off the North Asian expertise that Hanwha has as a group and what RHL has as a Southeast Asian expert, and bringing them together to create, a much stronger Asian platform for the companies that we co-invest together with.
So what are the kind of things that you can expect from Hanwha when you're mentioning that Northeast Asian expertise? What are the things that we're looking at here?
Well, the conversation with Hanwha has always, been very collaborative and us doing something together, especially in the region where they're very interested in. If you know a bit about background, we've been supported by very strong families in Southeast Asia, also very much in Malaysia. And if you look at Hanwha as a group, they've gone from defense to insurance to financials to renewable energy and a lot of things, and they're a huge conglomerate. At the same time, they're very strong in North Asia, so Korea, Japan, they're very strong in. So what we're trying to do is essentially, look for companies that can be, found in Southeast Asia, but expanded across globally, especially in Asia. So what we're trying to do is look for companies that have breakthroughs, that have great management, that have product fit across not just in Southeast Asia or Malaysia, but across the region. So something that is expandable and importable across the region.
We're looking at a sizable growth in terms of investment companies that you guys are backing. Before we jump into that, let's discuss a little bit about the kind of companies that have been invested by RHL Ventures. What are the kind of companies that you are backing right now?
So, one of the deals that we really like is called Game On. It's a Silicon Valley-based company. Essentially, what they do is they do sports chatbot or AI-based chatbot that operates in the sports industry. The founder, Alex Bachman, has some ties to Indonesia through his wife's family. And when he approached us initially, it was forming an alliance to build a much stronger platform in Southeast Asia. They've got partnerships with Compass Media in Indonesia already. So what he wanted to was strengthen the platform in Southeast Asia. Game On is essentially the chatbot for the UK-based EPL. They are in NFL and NBA, and they've done the Olympic Games in Rio. And so what we wanted to do was bring that expertise to Southeast Asia and leverage off the growth here. It's something that we're looking across the region. Our investment thesis is really global, but we like Southeast Asia. So how do we bring global companies back to Southeast Asia, especially Malaysia, where it's home ground for us?
And of course, using this as a case study with the tie-up with Hanwha, what do you expect in terms of backing these kind of companies? Are you going to try to see if they can grow their businesses in North Asia as well?
Yeah, so Hanwha comes with a huge array of expertise, not just insurance and financials where they're strong in. What we've partnered up is Hanwha Investment Corp, which essentially is their investment arm. So not only leveraging their strong balance sheets, but also leveraging the expertise across different sectors that they already have. So our idea is not only bring in deploying money from North Asian money to Southeast Asia, but also at the same time deploying the expertise across the region. Mm-hmm. We're working very closely to build something really big, which I think as the details unfold, a little bit more details will be known to the public. And it's, bringing their expertise, bringing our local knowledge and marrying them into this Asia giant that we want to build together.
The business of investment, particularly in VCs, is that there's not many times investing companies that can make it big.
That's true.
In fact, the rule of thumb is that you back 10 companies,
Yep.
3 of them will do okay,
Yep.
and you get only 1 star. Do you have that 10 companies that you're backing right now?
Well, I think it's a bit different. Our approach is very different from the average VC. One is because we all came from very fundamental-driven investing styles. So when we look at company, we look at the companies that will make it. And so the thesis of let's do 10 and maybe get 1 unicorn, I don't think that's how we do it. We come in with the view that every 10 that we back, every 10 has to be a winner. And if it's not the winner, it's because it's our fault. We did the wrong due diligence. It was not the right investment thesis. When we look at a company, we look at the macro and the micro bit of it. The macro is, is the country ready for this product innovation? Are they a disruptor as they say they are? Is the management, true to form? On the and that's the micro and macro tie-up. But essentially what we're trying to do is we're looking for the best companies as a standalone, and then we come in with our expertise. As RHL Group itself, we've got expertise in real estate, we've got expertise in manufacturing, palm oil, agriculture, infrastructure.
The whole plethora of it.
Pretty much everything. And so that's Southeast Asia and our expertise in the region. And so we said, look, we understand this region very well. So us bringing the sector knowledge de-risks our portfolio risk. At the same time, we've now got a North Asian investor that also has an array of sector expertise. And so together, we're able to de-risk all the risk that potentially comes from an early stage investment. So we come in with not just money to de-risk, to help fuel the growth, but also we come in with business expertise to really, bring them to the next step.
Okay, hold that thought. We'll take a short break, but when we come up, we'll talk a little bit more about RHL Ventures, who they are, and what they mean to the investment community. Don't go anywhere. So we're talking about RHL Ventures in the world of investment VCs, of course. Let's talk a little bit more about your firm, RHL Ventures. I don't want to mean this to be a profile piece, but definitely the 3 personalities driving RHL Ventures needs to be discussed.
Yep.
Let's talk about your heritage as well as your partner's heritages.
Okay. We're very normal people. We came up from a world of investing, and I think that's why we're doing this at this point. There's actually 4 partners right now. That's myself, Hamza, Lionel, and Jojo Kwong that's recently joined us about maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
So it's going to be RHLJ now.
I get the question a lot. We'll discuss this offline. Essentially, there's 4 of us, and we come from very different backgrounds. My background is purely investments. I've never been operational. I've done emerging market debt, I've done Asian equities, I've done derivatives, and that's what I've been good at. I invest. Hamza's a little bit different. Hamza's background comes from, he was a Goldman Sachs analyst, so he's very Tara, and he was at Guaco, and so very Tara in investing, right? But at the same time, when he came back to Malaysia about a year and a half ago, maybe now 2 years, he started helping the family business in a lot of infrastructure things that or projects that they do. Lionel's background is, he did a little bit of Hong Leong. He was a debt or credit analyst, and now head of strategy or head of operations and strategy for Masing. Essentially, he's very deep dive into operations. If you ask him anything about HR or computer or IT systems, he's very good at that. And that's what he brings to the table. Jojo is very different. Jojo was a whiz kid, right? She graduated at 19, absolutely brilliant. And so essentially, what she does is she does a lot of investing, but at the same time she does a lot of operational bit. And right now she's in Melbourne.
So with this strong personalities that you have in the partner level, you also have the investment committee level. Of course, we can deep dive with the bio of the investment committee that you guys have. How does the investment or the partnership with Hanwha come into play? Does this affect how you invest in the investing companies?
No. I think every partnership that we get into is to strengthen what we already have. And I think I've told a lot of people this, when we think about things, we don't think about, what is you and what is me, So how we do it is how do we do it together? How do we build a cohesive allegiance to be better? And so it's not about, splitting the pie, it's about growing the pie and then worrying about how to allocate the pie a bit later. And so it's about them strengthening our process. We've got an investment process that is very thorough, very deep down, very unlike even most of the Southeast Asian investment houses that you see.
All right. Early on in the interview, you were mentioning that with the Hanwha partnership, you are backing early start early stages of companies, particularly in the tech sector. What can we expect in this next coming quarter, at least the first quarter of next year?
Well, what we're looking at right now is not just, backing tech companies, but also looking at bricks and mortars businesses that we can help digitalize. If you look at Southeast Asia versus Silicon Valley, the difference is Silicon Valley has very innovative ideas because they are allowed to fail. They're allowed to have innovation. That's Stanford. There's a lot of incubators over there. In Southeast Asia, it's a bit different. If someone said, "I've got the next cure for cancer," you'd be like, "Right." If you said that in Stanford, it would have been a total different thing. And so what we say right now is we're also looking for bricks and mortars, looking to transform. Okay, so looking for the digital 2.0. What do you do? So we're looking for business studios, which or gymnastic studios, for example, that will be able to move on to digitalize themselves. And it's something very different from what everyone has done and everyone is able to do. It's about bringing them forward to the next 50 years. I was with a Thai conglomerate over the weekend, and their version of it is digital 4.0, and they think 100 years ahead, and which is very different proposition than a lot of us. We think what's going to be in the next 3 years. So it's investing for the future, and that's what we're trying to do.
Rachel, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I wish you all the best, and RHL Ventures for that matter. I've been speaking to Rachel Lau, the founder and managing partner of RHL Ventures. But that's it for this episode of Smart Money. Send us all your feedback on all the social sites that we have right now at 501 Awani. I'm Ibrahim Sani. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.